Tracy Martin.
Mr Speaker, I rise on behalf of New Zealand First to take a very short call on what is a very, very good bill to come through this Parliament. As already been mentioned, since 1953, this is a bill that has needed to move forward with the times. I would like to also acknowledge the work throughout the House on creating a workable bill, particularly for the development of patents in the IT area. This is going to be a continually moving feast. This is probably the one area where New Zealand First would agree with all other parties that this is where global legislation, the borders of this industry are almost non-existent. And this is going to be a continual movement around how we protect our intellectual property, the intellectual property of New Zealanders in this country, and those others in other nations that also create the apps and the other programs and other computer technology that we will use in everyday life as we have begun to use today. I would like particularly to also support the Minister's acknowledgement of the gentleman who spent 10 years of his life looking at this particular piece of legislation, trying to modernise it so that it was workable, to modernise it so that New Zealand can, as my colleagues have already said, lead the way in this particular area. I know it has been of major concern to the IT industry here, and I know that they will be pleased to hear it. I do, however, want to acknowledge some of the concerns that my Green Party colleague Stephen Browning raised around genetic modification, and in part New Zealand First agrees that they're inside the branding of New Zealand, which is a niche market country. We are small. We can never compete on the amount that we produce, but we can compete on the quality of what we produce. That this is an area that we should give severe consideration to. We should have a wide conversation in this country with politics taken out of the game, but merely about what is best for us as a nation and the future employment and agricultural outcomes for our country. So, sir, just quickly to finish, again, New Zealand First supports this and applauds the across-house work that has been done to bring this legislation up to date.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it.
Aye.
Party vote. The clerk will conduct a party vote.
New Zealand National.
No one called.
59 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
34 votes in favour.
Green Party.
14 in favour.
New Zealand First.
7 votes in favour.
Māori Party.
3 votes opposed.
Mana.
1 vote opposed.
ACT New Zealand.
1 in favour.
United Future.
1 in favour.
Brendan Horan. Any other
1
votes?
vote in favour. Sorry.
Could you repeat the Brendan Horan vote, please?
1 vote in favour.
No. The ayes are 117, the noes are 4. The motion is agreed to.
Patents Bill, third reading.
Time has come for the dinner suspension, so I shall resume the chair at 7 p.m.